Every time, no. I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that thing. I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cone. You know who coming to the stage. Sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that.
Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the court. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, then listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Stripes like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs, you know what's going on. Man, now we're After Dark, no LA, we the big spark. No 4th and inches won't cut you short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzzer beaters. We coming live all through your speakers, go.
And what is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckotcher here with the Man Hour. Go ahead and hit that like button as we need to get 10 likes tonight, guys. So if you are watching us on youtube.com/Man Hour, go ahead and hit that like button right now. If you're watching us on facebook.com/Man Hour Sports Talk, go ahead and hit that like button as well. And of course, share this with a couple friends as well, if you would, please. We do have a pretty action-packed show tonight. We are going to finally finish our NFL draft breakdowns. We're going to finish with the AFC East. We're going to break down the Buffalo Bills, Dolphins, Jets, and of course the Patriots. We had the world infamous What Does, and we got Way or No Way presented by Thrive Fantasy. But before we get too carried away, let's welcome Mr. Tori Anderson at @mananders_Tori. What's going on today, Tori?
It's another beautiful day in the neighborhood. I mean, it feels like, Mother Nature finally may have settled down and actually gave us spring now. So
right.
Just in time for summer to hit. So we'll see what happens here, because we're going from 0 to 100 real quick here. It was 36 degrees this morning. Tomorrow's supposed to be 75. So
perfect weather, right? I mean,
right.
It is just cold enough to kill all those bugs, and then warm enough in the afternoon to go to the zoo, right?
Absolutely.
So, Tori, you have been on the Man Hour here for quite a few weeks here now, going on almost a month, and you have given us some insights of what you used to do in past life here. You were a correctional officer at one point in your lifetime. Would you be willing to share us one of your most craziest stories as a correctional officer?
Oh, Jesus, how bad do you want me to get? I mean,
let's keep it PG-13.
So PG-13. All right. So we have one guy, and this was early on in my career, that the one bad thing about the prison system, this goes anywhere, state, federal, wherever, they usually put a lot of very mentally ill people in prison that should not be there. And we had one guy that liked to defecate in his own hand and then would roll it up. And then he would string it out, and he put it all around his door in what they call segregation. So it's basically solitary confinement would be the term that most people would know, but it's called segregation inside a prison. And would put it all around there and scream for hours at the top of his lungs, back up, I'm work for the CIA. I'm gonna blow this door. The door's gonna blow. This is C4. Yeah, like constantly this guy would do that stuff. I mean, like, there was literally balls of poop everywhere around his cell. So when we would ever get him out of his cell, it would just basically be a fire hose and hose that cell down.
That sounds really gross. I'm glad I'm not a CO. Speaking of not being a CO, we do know Mr. Brandon B.C. Combs is not a CO, because we have heard some of his war stories here on the After Hours. But Brandon Combs, man, at @manhour_Combs on the old Twitter machine. How's it feel to be back in the saddle, man?
Man, that feels good, man. I miss you guys. I try to listen to you when I can, but like you look at days like I had last night, man. I think I got home at like 7:30. I was in bed by 9. Michelle said I was snoring so loud by 9 o'clock that she had to leave the room and go hang out with Aubrey for a little bit. So.
Yeah, see, Cindy would have not allowed the room. She would have gave me the old elbow, like right below the rib cage, like like that part of your stomach, like, right? And yeah. She's a mash at that, just like one little nub, and dude, I'm up. I'm like, you son of a bitch.
I know, man. Look, I'll tell you right now, it's been this is my 4th full week at this job, and I've already logged over 200 hours.
Well, I mean, so you are officially a month in, so you're starting to get settled in. You are starting to find your role, find the groove, figure out what works and what doesn't work. Do you think we're going to start seeing you here a lot more on the Man Hour now that you're settled in?
I wouldn't say that. No, it's one of those things where I've kind of got to play it day by day. I already know tomorrow I won't be on the show just because we're headed to Indianapolis for Aubrey's volleyball tournament. And, it's going to start calming down for me a little bit just because I'm able to implement my own way of doing things at work. And I'm finally starting to get everything settled down and get everything caught up from, some of the fires that were started before I even started working there. So,
Yeah.
Once that stuff starts calming down, I should be able to, get a better handle on things and get on the show more often for sure.
Yeah, and Drew here says, Combs, what's up?
What's going on,
Combs,
Drew?
Have you been on since Drew has become a member here on the YouTube channel?
I have. I was here, I believe, the first day he became a member.
Oh, there
I
we
was
go.
here on that because I was surprised. I was like, who the hell got Drew to come over to YouTube?
Right.
Somebody did some magic.
Yeah.
Somebody worked it because Drew was always anti YouTube. He was always,
No, he's
Facebook
anti-Google.
only.
He's anti-Google.
Oh, anti-Google. Okay.
Yeah, so because Google's always listening to everything that you say. But so if you guys see here, if you over on youtube.com/manhour, Drew has a little symbol next to his name showing that he is a member. You can get that by simply clicking the join button here on youtube.com/manhour. And we have a 99-cent deal, $2.99, $5.99, and a $9.99 deal. The $9.99 deal gets you guys a hoodie every year, just as long as you are a member. And guys, we got some pretty good looking hoodies now. So Combs did some good work here. I'm not for sure if you guys can see this, but we are patriotic here at the Man Hour, and Combs put an American flag inside the Man Hour logo there. So because 4th of July and Memorial Day, guys, are right around the corner. We have red, white, blue, and gray American flag.
It looks so good on that blue.
Yeah, that one actually kind of looks purple for some reason. That's kind of weird. I'm gonna have to edit that. Make sure it is blue. But yeah. So you guys can see the hoodies there. The hoodies. So these are premium hoodies. So they are not 100% cotton, so they won't shrink as bad as the previous ones. So they are a little bit more expensive. They're $40 here. The t-shirts start at 15, and then the long sleeves tees start at 20. So Combs did great work on the hoodies there, or that logo in general, and it looks great. So we all can celebrate July 4th in style and Memorial Day with some Man Hour American flag tees. So
yeah, man, I'm gonna give me a couple of those, man. I like those. Those are nice.
Yeah, and Michelle says we can see it's very, very nice. So yeah,
we should make that just the regular logo, just the Man Hour with the American flag inside of it.
Okay, yeah, I will update it on the YouTube page for the rest of the co-op one, because honestly, like on the blue and gray, it really pops. So
yeah. I have it on a black background on the little tool that I use to make the logos, and on the black background it really pops too.
Yeah, so I'm anxious to see it in person. I got mine ordered today. I actually had it ordered, so it should be here in like 3 days. So I'm pretty excited about that. But Combs,
Tori can't read it, but he's blind in 2 eyes, so it doesn't.
He's blind in 2 eyes. I love that. That's the first time I've heard that, Combs. That's actually really good. He's blind in 2 eyes. Wow.
That's just facts there.
We can put that on a t-shirt.
I am blind.
Yeah, let's put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, so
Tori's blind in 2 eyes.
Here it is on the blue. If you guys are interested in the blue, there. I think the blue really pops.
Yeah, I like the way it looks on the blue too.
Yeah. So Combs, since you've been away, since you've been gone, yeah. Sorry. We've been playing a game called Guess Who. So we have a couple minutes before we get into the what does of the night. Would you like to join us in the Guess Who segment?
Let's do this, man. I love this game.
Of the Man Hour. So for those guys that
I win.
Yeah, Tori has not lost. No, Wyatt beat you one time to Tori, and
didn't I beat you the other night when we played with?
Wyatt won that. We each had one, and Wyatt got two. That's the one that Wyatt won.
Okay. So basically, what it comes down to is you simply ask a yes/no question to guess a current athlete in Major League Baseball, basketball, or the NFL. Let's what Timothy Leonard says. Good evening to you, Timothy Leonard, as well. So, Combs,
let me address this comment real quick. Michelle says, Or Drew says, Michelle, make him take a sleep study. If he snores that loud, he probably has sleep apnea. I don't always snore that loud, Drew. I think I was just really, really tired because the fact that I was asleep by 9 o'clock last night is amazing. Because usually I'm not asleep till after 11, sometimes midnight. But I was asleep last night by 9 o'clock, dead asleep.
All righty, so let's go ahead and get.
When I do, it's so Michelle kicks me out of the bedroom. No seconds.
Let's go ahead and get into some guests. Who I think we could probably get two in before we're up against the break. So, Colin, we'll let you ask the first question of the night.
All right. So we're doing current players only, correct?
Yeah.
All right.
So we'll start doing retired players June.
Is he a football player?
He is a football player.
Does he play in the NFC?
Yes.
Does he play in the NFC East?
No, he does not.
Does he play in the NFC South?
He does not.
Does he play in the NFC West?
No.
Does he play offense or defense? All right, does he play offense? Excuse me.
Yes.
Is he Justin Fields?
He is not.
Damn.
Is it Blake Bortles?
It is not. That would have been a great one, though. That would have been a great one.
Is he a quarterback?
Yes.
Is it Kirk Cousins?
No.
Is it Aaron Rodgers?
No.
Is it Jared Goff?
No.
Is it Love? Jordan Love?
No, it's not.
Is it Andy Dalton?
It is Andy Dalton. Tory
Son of a-
with the
As soon as you said Fields, we named the rest of them. Like, oh, he's going Dalton.
Yeah, I mean,
Because he thinks Andy Dalton's good.
He is a top 10 quarterback in the league if he gets to play the full 17 games this season.
Why do you got it? Why do you got to make me? I'm back for one night. Why do you got to make me upset? 12 minutes and 8 seconds into the show.
It's just my nature.
God.
So Tori officially has 9. So I did not keep a tally when you guys did it. So Combs, you are officially 0-1 here on the Buck scoreboard here. So Tori, we have a couple minutes before the break here. So you get to ask the first question next.
Are they a baseball player?
Yes.
They play in the American League?
Yes.
Do they play in the American League West?
No.
Is it a Royal?
No.
Do they play in the AL East?
Yes, they do.
Is it Aaron Judge?
It is not Aaron Judge.
Do they play for the Rays?
No.
Is it Giancarlo Stanton?
No.
Do they play for the Orioles?
No.
Do they play for the Red Sox?
Yes.
Are they a pitcher?
No.
Is it Xander Bogaerts?
No.
Do they play outfield?
Yes.
Is it Verdugo?
No. That's a cool name, though, isn't it?
It is.
That and Vanilla Wafer.
Is it Hunter Renfroe?
No.
Are you looking up Red Sox outfielders on your phone right now?
That's what you get. You're allowed to do it.
Yeah, you can
What?
just use you can use all your
I have no clue who their outfielders are now. All I knew was Verdugo. How about
you can even use the YouTube chat if you wanted
to. Is it let's see. Is it Rafael Devers? No, he's a third baseman.
No, he's not. Would you like a second guess on that?
Is it wait, what? You said no, he's not. Yes, he is. He's a third baseman.
No, but that's not who I'm thinking of.
Oh.
Yeah. Go ahead, Tori.
Is it JD Martinez?
It is JD Martinez.
Oh, he's a DH.
He's more of a DH than an outfielder.
God, Buck, learn your baseball.
He is listed as a left fielder.
He is listed.
He
but
hasn't played left field in 17
99% of the
years.
time.
it's still an outfielder. He's still listed.
What,
as an
what are you
outfielder.
going by Little League stats? Would you look up what did he play in Little League?
It was actually college. He was a left fielder in college. when I looked up here. So
All right.
we got yes, Timothy Leonard comes out and says he's DH, but here on the roster officially on MLB.
He is actually officially listed as a left fielder DH.
Listed as a left fielder. So I just want to put that out there. All right.
I demand a recount.
Torrey officially has 10 wins on this season, so he is 10-4.
That one doesn't count.
Okay, we'll give it like a half a win. We'll make it a tie like the rest of the.
Well, I already know I'm not going to have the lowest winning percentage at the end of this month because I'm dominating this game.
Yeah, you are. Wyatt's probably going to have the lowest winning percentage. So, Combs, you get to ask the first question.
Is it a basketball player?
It is.
Did they play in the Eastern Conference?
Eastern Conference, no.
Do they play on the western side of the country?
Yes.
Do they play in the state of California?
Yes.
Is it LeBron?
It is not LeBron. LeBron James will never come out of my
Is it
mouth.
Kawhi Leonard?
It's not Kawhi.
No, LeBron James only comes in your mouth.
Twice.
Yeah, is it God, I'm trying to think. I'm horrible with basketball players. Is it Steph?
It is Steph Curry.
Yeah, I figured that was going to be my next guess.
Yep.
My next guess was going to be Steph or Paul George.
I try to make that one a little bit easier because I'm not very good with basketball players too, man. Like, I mean, we in theory could have went like the 8th guy off of the bench and be like, oh, it's
Gone forever.
Luka, yeah, it's Eric Pascal. You know, he's been in the league for like 30 years or something like that. And no, but
Yeah.
Pascal's actually a pretty good role player for the Warriors.
Yeah, he is 100%. So I'm not for sure what this means, Drew. Like, do you guys know what that means? Lux.
Lux is the he plays for the Dodgers.
Dodgers, yeah.
Oh, gotcha. All right, guys. So Combs, you have officially been initiated into Guess Who. How do you feel?
I like that game, man. I really do.
I mean, it's just it mixes things up. It gets the juices flowing. And what gets us really juices flowing is the what does. So we are going to take a quick little break. We're going to get into the what does, and after that, guys, we're going to get into the AFC East draft breakdown. So stay tuned right here on the Man Hour, and we'll be right back. And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckcast along with Brandon Combs and the Tori Anderson tonight. If you missed any part of the show whatsoever, you can simply head over to manhourradio.com and click on the podcast as I upload the clips up on the podcast form as well over there on the website. You can also find it on iTunes, iHeartRadio, and Spotify, and as of late, Amazon Music as well. So you can find us in any basically listing format that you want us to, of course, at youtube.com/man hour. So Combs, we have not done What Does in a couple weeks here, man, just because we've been so bombarded with football news and stuff like that, and Wyatt talking over me and then cut me off when it's time for a break. But
and because you guys miss me.
Yeah. So with that being said, we are going to give you the inaugural What the of the night. So how does that make you feel?
Hey, man, I like it because you know what? This one's going to be a good one, and this one's probably going to spark both of you guys to want to talk about it.
All right, so let's go ahead and get the jingle, and you get.
All right, so my first What the of the night, man, I've been itching to get at this one for I'm going to say for about 2 days now since I first heard that the Jaguars were signing Tim Tebow. And then I hear people saying there's no way Tim Tebow should have a job before Colin Kaepernick.
Yep.
Are you guys out of your freaking mind? First of all, take into account that Tim Tebow is pretty much best friends with Urban Meyer. Okay? That's the first thing. Okay? Then take into account the fact that if you really, really want to break it down, Tim Tebow got a more raw deal than Colin Kaepernick did. Tim Tebow finally got a shot with the Denver Broncos back in, I think it was 2012. And when he finally got his shot to be a quarterback, he went 7-4 and he won a playoff game. And then never got another shot to be a quarterback again. After that season, I think he went to the Jets, and I think he maybe started 2 games as a Jet. So the fact that you think that Colin Kaepernick deserves a shot when Colin Kaepernick, after going to the Super Bowl in 2013 as a quarterback who was 12-4, he had a great season. He proceeded to go 8-8, 2-6, and then in his final season, the final straw, they were 1-10. 1-10. This man is 28-30 as a quarterback in the NFL, has a losing record, and you want to say that he gets more of a raw deal than a guy who went 7-4, won a playoff game, and then never got a shot to play again? Give me a damn break. Stop with the Colin Kaepernick. Kaepernick doesn't even want to play in the NFL. He showed that at his last tryout, and even Stephen A. Smith of ESPN said the same thing. Colin Kaepernick does not want to be in the NFL. If he wanted to be in the NFL, he would have taken that tryout more seriously, and it was nothing more than a publicity stunt. So stop with the Colin Kaepernick deserves a job. Stop with the Tim Tebow shouldn't get a start at tight end for the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jacksonville Jaguars before Colin Kaepernick gets a shot anywhere in the NFL. Just stop. All of you guys get the what the.
My first what the of the night is going to my beloved Green Bay Packers. You needed another arm in camp. And the only good news is this guy is there literally only to probably be a camp arm. But you couldn't find somebody better than Blake frickin' Bortles to sign.
Such a great day to be a Bears fan.
No, like I said, the chances of him making the team are pretty much zero. So I'm like, but still, I do not like Blake Bortles at all. Blake Bortles is a terrible quarterback. And the thing is, if you are actually seriously considering to have Blake Bortles be your second string quarterback because Gutekunst came out and said the other day, Jordan Love has a long way to go yet. So, I mean, Aaron's going to be the starter. They're working on a contract with him. It sounds like that's all going to get settled
for the Broncos.
Yeah,
nope.
That's all lies.
So, Packers signing Blake Bortles, you hands down get my what the on today.
And my next one the other night is going to go out to all those Packer fans that thinks that Aaron Rodgers is actually going to be playing in Green Bay at the start of the NFL season. Have you ever heard the old saying there, Mr. Torrey Anderson, where there's smoke, there is fire? Well, this thing has been smoking for like 18 months now, and basically Adam Schefter was fanning those flames. He's like, burn, baby, burn. Aaron Rodgers is 100% out of town, no questions asked. He is going to go to Denver Broncos. He is probably going to beat my Kansas City Chiefs twice this season, just because that's what the Denver Broncos do. They go out and they get like an aging quarterback, and they destroy the division for the next 3 years, and then they're crap hole again, and then the next aging quarterback
Rodgers
will come
beat
back
them
in.
once anyway because they play Kansas City this year.
What'd you say?
I said they'll beat them at least. Rodgers.
You get to mute because this is my what the. And Aaron Rodgers is not playing just once against the Kansas City Chiefs this year. He's playing twice. So you get the what the, Mr. Torrey Anderson.
My next what the other night is going out to the Philadelphia Flyers. Like, I don't understand how much more that COVID could just become propaganda. The Philadelphia Flyers are offering tickets and free gear to fans that are getting vaccinated. In order to schedule your vaccination, if you schedule your vaccination, you'll get free Flyers gear and free tickets. My question is, how do you get free tickets to a stadium that's empty right now? Not only that, how do you get gear that nobody wants to wear anyway? So my next what the? Philadelphia Flyers, you get it.
My next what the is going to go out to my other guy, Christian Yelich. So Yelich goes on the injured list for 10 days with a whatever back injury, probably because he can't freaking swing and hit anything, right? He hurt his mangina, so he tore his whatever a Manheimen would be. He tore his taint.
His gooch string.
So, hey, this is my what the. So, but then he literally comes off the injured list for 3 hours and goes right back on it. Why would you not say, yeah, I don't think I'm good to go? Or the team doctor saying, yeah, I don't think he's good to go yet. Instead, no, you try to put him out there. He lasts like 2 innings, and they got to yank him from the game because he's got back stiffness. Milwaukee Brewers, team doctors, you get my what the tonight.
Oh, Tori, I feel like I'm piling on you right now, but my next what the is going to go out to you because you need to learn how to read between the lines. So when Christian Yelich came back, when he first went on the injured list, it wasn't because his back was sore. It was probably because he had COVID. Let's just be flat out honest. Back stiffness, come on, man. Like, you can work through that all you want. And then he came back and played two innings only because the COVID tests come back in the middle of the game, much like we saw in the World Series with Combs. What is that guy's name that tested positive in the middle of the World Series? The redheaded dude?
Justin Turner.
Justin Turner. So, obviously, Tori, he has COVID. So, Tori Anderson, you get the what the for not knowing how to read between the lines.
My next what the is going to go out to the NFL. Why do we continue to have games in the UK? For the life of me, I don't get it. You say you're trying to build the brand over in London for what? You're never going to have a team in London. There's never going to be a team in London. Period. No, Jack, they're not going to play from London. The time difference is too crazy for a team to travel there or for them to travel here. It's just, it's asinine. It doesn't make any sense. If you're going to start up another league out there and maybe make it like a feeder league for the NFL, then maybe that would make some sense. But not only that, you're trying to build the brand, and who do you send out there every year? You send out the worst of the worst. This year, we're going to get the Falcons versus the Jets. And we're going to get the Jaguars versus the Dolphins. Who the hell is going to travel to the UK to watch the Falcons play the Jets or the Jaguars play the Dolphins? You couldn't give them like I don't know, Tampa Bay versus Kansas City. You couldn't give them I don't know, Edom. So why even bother sending these guys to the UK? It makes zero sense to me. So NFL, you get the
Combs. I had a different what the lined up, but now you're getting my what the. They do it because they send the teams over to England that can't draw fans in the United States. Teams like Green Bay always said, we will not give up a home game to go because that brings $25 million into the community. Every weekend they have a home game because they sell out their stadium. Jacksonville cannot sell out their stadium. You know, the Jets cannot sell out their stadium.
The Jets aren't the home team. The Falcons are.
Well, the Falcons probably can't sell their stadium either. So they usually send the ones that have the worst attendance. Those are the teams that they will send over there because they can make more money for the league by sending them to England than by them having a home game.
But why? You're not doing anything. You're not promoting anything in London. There are no teams that are. There is no way in hell. That's why these games are played at 8:30 in the morning when they are in London. That's why they're played at 8:30 in the morning on the East Coast in the United States. It's because
like
the time difference is insane. So I heard somebody say, why don't you put a Sunday night football game on in the UK to draw in fans? You know why? Because it'd be like 3 o'clock in the morning in the UK if they played Sunday night football. So you're not going to put a team in the UK. The time difference is too much for a team to play 8 home games in the UK. It's too much for them to travel for 8 games. There is no way there's ever going to be anything in the UK. Maybe you can start up a feeder league. Maybe that's what we did. Maybe we start up a feeder league.
They tried that. That's what the World League was.
Maybe they relegate the Jaguars and the Jets to the UK to start up a feeder league. It's stupid.
All right, guys, we'll be right back. AFC East draft breakdown coming up after the break. We'll be right back. welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckeyes along with Brandon Combs and Tori Anderson tonight. We've got into the what does. We played a little bit of Guess Who, but now it's time to break down the AFC East draft grades here. So, guys, let's go ahead and start off with the best team in the AFC East last season is the Buffalo Bills. They finished 13-3 last season, made an AFC championship run. It turns out that both their wide receivers were playing on broken legs toward the end of the year. So could have things have been different? Who really knows? But one thing they did do is I think they drafted pretty well. So Tori, let's go ahead and kick it to you first here. Who was the best draft in your eyes for the Buffalo Bills this season?
So I'm going to go with their second round pick, Carlos Basham Jr. from Wake Forest, edge rusher. Again, a guy that probably should have been gone towards the end of the first round or at the very latest in the early second round. He lasted till almost the end of the second round, though. I think they got great value. They basically got a first round talent on a defense that's already dangerous. The rich got richer, and I said that last night again with the Cleveland Browns, but it's true here as well. That defense is already stacked, and now they just added depth to that defensive line for rotating guys in and out. Good luck, quarterbacks in the AFC East. You're about to get destroyed by the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, they have a very stout defense there, and exactly what you said, the rich got richer. So, Cole, let's kick it over to you next. Who do you think the best pick for the Buffalo Bills was in the 2021 draft?
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Boogie Basham. I think that was probably their best pick out of all of them. I do like all of their picks, though. They had a really good draft. Marquez Stevenson from Houston was a nice pickup in the 6th round as well. And then you got Greg Russo, obviously was their first round draft pick. You know, they're picking late in the draft because they've been good, and that's good for Buffalo. But I really do. I think that, you know, picking up Boogie in the second round there, Boogie Basham out of Wake Forest. He had a nice season out for Wake Forest. The kid is an absolute beast. I see a lot of Khalil Mack in this kid, so I really like the pick of Boogie Basham here.
Yeah, that was another great pick as well. I mean, you really can't go wrong with that pick either. But where there's good, there is always bad. And I think we kind of had to pick through the fine-tooth comb with the Buffalo Bills here to find a bad pick in my eyes. But, Combs, who do you think a bad pick or the worst pick for the Buffalo Bills was in 2021?
I'm going to go with the safety out of Pittsburgh that they took, DeMar Hamlin. This kid just doesn't get the juices flowing for me. I don't really feel like this kid was worth the 6th round pick. Safeties really, you know, the secondary was really not a problem for the Buffalo Bills, so I didn't really see this as a huge need for them. I thought there was a lot of other places they could have gone, offensive line maybe, to beef up the offensive line a little bit. But I just didn't like that pick, so I'm going to say DeMar Hamlin out of Pittsburgh is the worst pick.
Oh, interesting. Tori, what about you?
I'm going to go with their 5th round pick, Tommy Doyle. Offensive lineman, super athletic tackle, but his pass blocking leaves a lot to be desired with him. Needs to work on his strength as well. He's a big kid, big kid, 6'8", 326 pounds. But, you know, he played at a mid-major. He played at Miami, Ohio. And so it's not like he played against, like, top-notch competition all the one. Granted, it's still D1 competition. But, you know, with that kind of length that he had, even in a mid-major conference like that, it's probably a little bit easier to bully opponents just because of his length. And that's where it's all going to come down to him in the NFL is if he gets good coaching, not to coach up his technique. Right. You know, the guy's got a mean streak. He reminds me a lot of Richie Incognito is who he reminds me of.
Like,
yeah, I mean, he's 6'6", 320.
No, as a player wise, with his mean streak and stuff like that, the way he plays and the way he just he has a no holds barred attitude. But it's like I said, he's got to work on his pass protection. It's the weakest part of his game right there. So I'm not. It's nitpicking again with them because this guy's got all the tools except for one thing. So
sorry, Combs, I didn't mean to cut you off earlier. What were you saying?
No, I was just saying the kid's 6'6", 320. He's got the size, he's got the strength, you know. But I agree with Tori. The pass blocking isn't, you know, exactly where you would like it to be. However, I mean, again, this is one of those drafts that you look at them and you're like, man, they had a really good draft. So when you're picking a worst pick for the Buffalo Bills, it's almost like you're picking the worst of the best. It's just
right. So Combs said it. They said it the best here. They had a really, really good draft. So Tori, what is your draft grade for them?
Overall, I gave them a B plus. The only thing that is kind of confusing is they went edge rusher first and second round. But again, defensive line help. That if you rotate your guys in and out, you can never have enough depth on that offensive or on that defensive line, because you can constantly keep guys fresh, keep them rotated and stuff like that. So in that aspect of it, with the way that defense is run and as badass as they are, it's like I said, the rich got richer, and they added depth in all the right places to just make themselves continue to be stout for the next 5 or 6 years.
Right, and by drafting edge rusher in the draft, that to me says they're planning to play late into January, meaning they have to contain Lamar Jackson. So if you keep your guys healthy and contain Lamar Jackson by consistently throwing fully rested guys at him, that is a big change in there. So Combs, let's kick it to you next. What's the overall draft grade for the Buffalo Bills?
Yeah, I went right with Tori. I went B plus. I really like the additions on the defensive line. I mean, they seem to not want to rest until they have a superior defensive line, and that's how you beat teams like the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC. That's how you beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC. So it was a really good draft for them. They shored up the offensive line as well. The Marquez Stevenson pick in the 6th round was a really good pickup for them too at wide receiver. He's just another
that kid
weapon.
is a burner.
He's so fast. Yeah. So when you got him, and then maybe even if you're putting him in the slot and you've already got a really fast, wide receiver core, it's just, I mean, this offense is going to be explosive this year. So I went B plus with their draft grade just because I felt like it was a really good draft.
Okay, so we saw them go 13-3 last year and make a deep playoff run. Does this draft make them better, Combs, going into the 2021 season?
Yeah, this makes them better. Look, I like to see, I'm probably, I got to see the schedule. I haven't looked over all the schedules yet. I know, you already knew who their opponents were, but I feel like this is a team that is poised to be in the very least, the AFC title game this season.
Right. So, spoiler alert, guys. Starting tomorrow, we'll be breaking down each game throughout the division. So, just like how we broke down the draft, we're going to be breaking down each game and picking the winners, playoff winners, and obviously Super Bowl winner toward the end. Obviously, way too early here. So, Tori, did the Buffalo Bills get better with this draft?
I think so, because they got more dangerous. That defense got more dangerous. And you hit it pretty much on the head. They're playing to make a run into February. Their ultimate goal, which is every team's ultimate goal, is to hoist that Lombardi, but they have the pieces in place already. And with Stevenson's going to sit behind Stephon Diggs and Cole Beasley and learn from two of the best in the league, which is only going to benefit that kid. So this team is as dangerous as any. And your Kansas City Chiefs, better beware of the Buffalo Bills coming this year, because I think this year is probably going to be their best shot.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I mean, honestly, as a Chiefs fan, I was scared to play the Buffalo Bills last year. But that was just me, just being a fan here. So, guys, with everything wrapped in there and like whatnot, I want you to make a bold prediction about the Buffalo Bills next year before we move into the Miami Dolphins here. Combs, just give me a bold prediction that the Buffalo Bills will be X next year. Josh Allen will be MVP. Buffalo Bills will win the AFC East.
Yeah,
give me a bold prediction.
Bold prediction is going to be the Buffalo Bills are going to the Super Bowl. That would be my bold prediction because I think they're that good.
What about you, Tori?
Buffalo Bills defense will have an average points per game under 10.
Wow, that would be huge, especially because
only two defenses in the league have ever done it. I believe, and it was the 85
and they both
Bears
won the Super Bowl
and the 2000 Ravens.
Yeah.
Wow. So you are picking a Super Bowl win for the Buffalo Bills? Is that the drift?
I said under 10 points.
Oh, do it, Tori.
Yeah.
Don't be scared.
that is a teaser for, I guess, next week here when we do break down.
Grab
the
him,
AFC,
Joe Boo.
East.
Grab him.
You got
no marbles. No marbles.
So let's go ahead and move on to the next team in this division here. They are the Miami Dolphins. They went 10-6 last season. So Combs, when we were doing preseason Major League Baseball tiers, you kept saying like they're teams that are like a year away, or like they or they might be like ahead of schedule. Many people thought that the Miami Dolphins was a year away last year, but you know they were here to ball. They did finish 10-6 last season. Tua is their guy now, so they had a draft to build around Tua. So did the Miami Dolphins? What was their best draft pick?
God, I mean, they had such a good draft. Another team. The AFC East really had a good draft all the way around. But this draft was phenomenal. I think this was the best out of all the AFC East teams. And, you know, I could go the easy route and say Jalen Waddle, you know, to get back with Tua was a great pick. Or I could say Jalen Phillips out of Miami was a great pick. But I think that their best pick actually came out of Notre Dame in the second round with Liam Eichenberg, the offensive tackle. This kid is a stud offensive tackle. One of probably, I would say in this draft, he was probably a top 5 offensive tackle for me on my board. And that's saying a lot because this was a very rich draft offensive line wise. And Liam Eichenberg just pass blocking, run blocking. He's a total package. This kid is going to be a diamond in the rough, and they got a steal getting him in the second round.
Yeah, so I actually have some notes on him, and per professional football or the PFF, he only allowed a 1% pressure rate coming off of the outside, like just like on him. So when he blocked you, you are not getting around him, but 1% of the time. So, Tori, who is the best pick in your eyes in the 2021 NFL draft for the Miami Dolphins?
I'm agree with Brandon on this one. Liam Eichenberg. This kid is going to be a star in the league. He's a tackle guard combo. The kid's versatile as all can be. He's got strength. He's athletic. He does need to get a little bit stronger. And they did trade up. They gave up quite a bit to get this kid at 42. But this kid was worth everything they gave up, in my opinion. Yep. They've got a kid that's going to be around for the next 12 to 15 years and probably be an all-pro for 10 of them. So reminds me a lot of Quentin Nelson.
Yeah. So what Tori was saying, they did give up a 2022 third-round pick to move up 8 spots to get him. So
well worth it.
On the flip side of that coin, Tori, who was their worst pick in this year's draft?
I'm not a big fan of the Javon Holland pick out of Oregon there. I'm surprised he went as early as he did with the 36th pick. To me, he's not the most instinctive safety that there was in the draft. I think there was other more athletic, more instinctive safeties. He doesn't have like the ball hawk skills. He's going to be a system guy. And if he fits the system, he'll probably do fine. But if he doesn't, he's going to be one of those guys that's out of the league in 3 to 4 years. So he'll be cut like after 2 years, and then he'll probably get picked up and be given the proverbial second chance by somebody else, and then get cut there. But he doesn't play the run very well. He's not the fastest man in coverage either. I think this was a really, really high pick to take Javon Holland with. I think they could have got him a little bit later on, and I don't even know where he was rated overall, but I sure as can bet it probably wasn't the 36th rated prospect in this draft.
I think that you're sleeping on him just because he didn't play in 2020. This kid was very good out of Oregon. He played 2 seasons. He had 9 interceptions in those 2 seasons as a safety. He had 66 total tackles in 2019 alone. 4.5 of those for a loss. 26 assists, 40 solo tackles, and his freshman year he had 42 tackles and 5 interceptions. Like, this kid is a ball hawk, and he can tackle.
So
Like-
so Combs, those numbers are a little deceiving because he played 74% of his snaps as a slot corner. So he was down in the box man to man 74%.
Well, that's a lot
the
of college
plays last
schemes,
year.
though, right? If you bring in a slot receiver, your safety always drops down into a slot corner, though, doesn't
Well, I would
he?
say
95% of the time, anyway.
Well, so I played outside linebacker or that jack backer, and I was in coverage a lot. So like our linebackers are like.
Yeah, I'm telling you right
slide
now,
on
if
the inside.
if your coach had linebacker covering wide receivers, I mean that's just a mismatch, isn't it? Don't get me wrong. I know you're athletic. I know linebackers are athletic, and a lot of linebackers now are freaky fast. But I don't want a linebacker in one-on-one coverage with a wide receiver.
So you were never really on one-on-one coverage. The safety always had in our particular scheme, I had 10 yards up. So once that receiver passed that 10 yards coverage, I would let him go, and then the safety would pick him up after that point. So it was a cover 2 man. More or less, it was like so.
I still say 9 interceptions in 2 seasons. I mean, that's still great numbers. The kid's a ball hawk. He can tackle. Like the fact that he didn't play in 2020, I think hurt his draft stock. I think if he plays in 2020, and those numbers are even close to what they were his first 2 seasons, I think he's a first-round draft pick.
Yeah, and and then the Miami Dolphins definitely needed safety help as well because they gave up 6.2 yards after a catch last season. That was the best, or that was the worst in the NFL. The next closest team was the Kansas City Chiefs at 5.5. So Combs, who was the worst draft pick in your eyes in 2021 for the Miami Dolphins?
I'm nitpicking, so I'm just going to go with their last pick with Jared Dokes out of Cincinnati. I mean, he's probably going to be nothing more than a special teams guy or a practice squad running back. But I would say that was probably their worst pick of the draft. They had a really, really good draft. Their draft is so solid. It's hard to pick one. So if I had to pick one, that's the one I'm going with.
Yeah, Jared Goats is a running back, so they had.
He's going to be a mauler, though. He's going to be their big back for them. So
you think so?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think he even touches the field.
I don't think.
I think he does. I do.
Really?
Just because he's a change of pace. He's a power back. He's not a super speed. He's a power back. He's the guy you want in there when it's 4th and
that doesn't
less
fit
than
their
a yard.
offensive scheme, though, does it? If 4th and less than a yard, they're Tua's keeping the ball.
I think we see a new offense in Miami this season. Last year they were playing Ryan Fitzpatrick offense, and like this year we're going to see a lot more of Baltimore Ravens style football down in Miami. A lot of rolling of the pocket and getting Tua in the open field and
It'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting.
Well,
to see for sure.
I mean, with the weapons he's got with Will Fuller, with Devontae Parker, with Jalen Waddle, Mike Gesicki, the rolling pocket. I love it when people talk about the rolling pocket because when it works great. But if somebody picks it up, your quarterback's about to get his head taken off if they don't bite on the fake. That
addition of Fuller was, I think, maybe the best addition of the offseason so far.
It was low key probably the best signing.
Not of draft picks, but of free agents.
It's a 1 year deal.
I love the Will Fuller pickup.
I think you're looking over the obvious here is Jacoby Brissett. That is getting a solid backup quarterback that can basically come over as a starter if Tua needs it, after week 6 or something like that. Like,
and he can run the same style offense too.
Yeah, so I was gonna say because where's Flores from? New England. Where's Jacoby Brissett from? New England. Right. So it made all the sense in the world. So
isn't that where all the good people come from in football?
Not if they go to Detroit and I picked them to go 10-6 and they do the exact opposite. But we will move past that point. So Combs, what do you rate the Miami Dolphins draft this year?
I gave them an A, and I don't see how you can give them any less than an A. This draft was so good. Jalen Waddle, Jalen Phillips, Javon Holland, Liam Eichenberg, Hunter Long. Even the offensive tackle they picked in the 7th round from UMass, Larnell Coleman, I think he's going to be a starter for them. So I really liked their draft. I really liked what they did, and I went A on these guys.
Does it make them better?
Yeah, oh yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I think they're going to be a tough out. I don't know. I can't say that they're going to win a playoff game because it's tough not knowing who they're playing, but they are poised to make a run, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them win a playoff game or two.
And the AFC is stout. Probably 9, 10 teams
Oh,
deep.
it's so good. Yeah.
Tori, what about you? Overall draft grade?
Overall draft grade, I gave him a B+ again for this one. I really like their draft. The only thing that keeps it from an A is I'm really not a fan of the Javon Holland pick. It was just literally just a little bit too high for him.
So
if it had been a 3rd round pick, like where they got Hunter Long,
yeah,
I could see that. Their grade would be an A. I just think it was just too high of a pick for him at that spot.
And I'm not a big fan of the Jalen Waddle pick, to be honest, because I thought their wide receivers were pretty much set, and because they had Devontae Pollard, Will Fuller, they signed Lynn Bolden Jr. in the offseason as well. They picked up Albert Wilson from the Chiefs a couple years ago as well. I mean, I thought the receiving core was pretty deep as is, so I'd be curious to see how Waddle fits into this offense.
So I just want to tell you guys that when the Bears drafted, how they drafted, I was extremely excited about this team.
Yeah.
I just got the text message of their schedule. I am no longer excited about this team. They're freaking they have to run a gauntlet. It is their schedule is horrid.
That's what happens when
if you look at the strength of schedule, the NFC North, all 4 teams are ranked in the top 6 for toughest schedules. And so the Bears are 3rd, the Packers are 4th, the Vikings are 5th, and the Lions are tied for 6th.
Oh my god!
But we will definitely be breaking down those schedules when you are on Combs, so I can pick the Detroit Lions to go 11-6 next year. So, guys, we are going to take a quick little break. On the other side of the break, we got Way or No Way, brought to you by Thrive Fantasy. You can head over to thrivefantasy.com, use promo code MANHOUR, and they'll match up to $50
right now
on your first deposit. So that's thrivefantasy.com. You can download it on iOS or Android devices. You must be and not Indiana to use it. So just FYI for all you Indiana people. But, guys, we'll be right back here on the Man Hour. Way or No Way coming up.
check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckhouse with Brandon Combs and Tori Anderson tonight. If you missed any part of the show whatsoever, you can find us on iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio as well. Or we upload the clips each and every day at youtube.com/Man Hour. All you got to do is simply hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon, and you'll get a notification every time we upload a clip throughout the day. Fun fact, I upload 4 to 5 clips a day. So it's 4 clips on show days, 5 clips on non-show days. So let's go ahead and welcome the boys back onto the screen here. Combs, it is time for Way or No Way. So we have brought in a lot of new fans here in the last couple weeks. So the people that don't know what Way or No Way is, Combsy, let them know what it is.
So depressed right now.
That's all right.
Anyway, Way or No Way is everybody's favorite time of the week. God. Anyway, what I do is I bring up some stuff that's been going on in sports, and I give these guys a little anecdote, and they tell me whether or not it is way or no way. So, guys, are you guys ready for this?
We are, man. Let's do it.
No way. Yes way.
All right, guys. So we already talked about Tim Tebow, well, at least I did in my What Does. I'm going to ask you guys this. The Tim Tebow signing was merely a PR move to take the spotlight off of Trevor Lawrence.
I'm going to go with way on that one. Hands down, it is a PR stunt. The guy's 33 years old. He's making a transition to tight end. I said it last night. I'm not a Tebow fan at all anyways. So I don't think he can seriously think he's going to just be able to come in and learn how to play tight end in 1 year. I know he worked out with whoever the tight ends coach is for the Jacksonville Jaguars a couple of months ago. Although Urban Meyer did come out and say today, we have not signed Tim Tebow yet. He has not been offered a contract yet. So, I'm going to go with way on this one. If they do it, it's a PR stunt. I don't think he even makes the team.
So, Combs, can you restate the question for me again, just to make sure I heard it correctly, so make sure I'm going the correct way on this?
So, Tim Tebow signing with the Jacksonville Jaguars is a PR move to take the spotlight off of Trevor Lawrence.
I mean, of course this is a way. Come on, man, because we all know Trevor Lawrence is going to be a bust in the NFL. So this first season when they go 2-15 and Trevor Lawrence throws for like 35 interceptions and just their team is completely trash and horrible, they could be like, oh, but Tim Tebow caught a 3-yard out for 6 yards on the season. Congratulations, Tim Tebow. And he does a little Tebow pose there. And this is a 100% PR move just to take the spotlight off of him 100%. Also, this is a way to get Tim Tebow into the Jaguars organization so he can somehow become some type of coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars moving forward. Because I think Urban Meyer wants him on the staff, but he doesn't know how to say,
why not just sign him as a coach then?
Because he still thinks he can play. He's been in AAA baseball for like 12 years.
Come in, coach. I can do it.
He's an athlete. So
it's 6 years, but okay.
Jesus told me in my sleep I can play football again.
Definitely way. This is all a PR stunt because Trevor Lawrence is going to be a bust, and they need something to cover it up.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. So this is why I say it's no way. One, because Tim Tebow's never going to play a snap as a tight end in the regular season for the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's just not going to happen. He's not going to play tight end for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And for 2, it's still not going to take any spotlight off of Trevor Lawrence. It's not. I mean, the spotlight, so he's still the number 1 draft pick. He still has to go out there and perform, and he's not going to be able to because he's going to be a bust. So there is no way that this is a PR move just to take the spotlight off of Lawrence. I do agree with you in a way that this might be a way to get him into the organization so that then they can, sign him on as a coach of some sort. But even then, like I don't I don't think that this is a PR move because I don't think he ever plays it down for them.
No, he's because if he's going to be a bust.
No way. Yes way.
My bad, Tori.
Tori. When the overlay comes on, you shut your mouth.
Yeah. It's okay, rookie. I mean, we have a 55-year-old rookie here named Tim Tebow here. Torrey Anderson. What's up, Torrey?
Well, I said because you keep talking about how Trevor Lawrence is going to be a bust.
Right.
Maybe Tebow will teach him how to be a bust because Tebow was a bust.
Tebow wasn't a bust. He won a playoff game. He just never got a.
He was in the
Really?
league 3 years.
We came in for that. He was in the league for 3 years. He got to be a starter once, and when he went to be a starter, he was 7-4 and won
trash.
a playoff game.
He was trash.
He was 7-4 and won a playoff game.
Didn't he win his first 5 games as a starter?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's 7-4 and he won a playoff game and never got to start another game in the NFL
because he was terrible.
Oh my God. Terrible at winning, apparently. Anyway, moving on.
Packers fan.
God, you must be a Packers fan. Anyway, speaking of football, today is the release of the NFL schedule, as we all know, because that's all anybody is talking about all across all of sports talk everywhere. So I ask you guys this. The schedule release and the excitement around the schedule release in the NFL is overrated.
No way. The NFL has taken over as the American pastime. It's taken over. It's 365 days a year, 24/7. It is the favorite thing of for American sports. It is now the icon. It overtook baseball probably. I think after the strike year, that's when football kind of overtook baseball for good as America's pastime. People will do whatever they can. They will grasp onto whatever they can when it comes to football news. You know, we've talked about it here. What is our bread and butter here? We talk football. Why? Because everybody loves football.
Because you guys don't know anything else about sports? Judging by your outfit?
Show just got a lot better, didn't it? No. So I'm going to go with no way as well. This is definitely not overrated. What is overrated is when they release of like who you're playing out in like April. Like, cool, I know I'm going to play the Chiefs and the Buccaneers and the Bears and the Packers. Like, I don't really care about that. What I care about is, am I playing those 4 teams back to back to back to back? Because if you spread it out during the season, it is okay. But when I play the Bucks, the Chiefs, the Packers, and the Bears all back to back to back, that is a gauntlet of a season, much like Combs is referring to his Bears season here. So no way this is not overrated whatsoever. Just because all of these draft grades that we've been doing here in the past week and a half and saying that if the team has got better or not, when the schedule comes out, we can really put a hammer in and say they get better because they have an easy-ass schedule moving forward. So no way, Combsy.
So I'll admit that I didn't look at the Bears schedule until I just saw it now. Yep. And so I was disappointed. However, the reason why this is definitely a way and why this is overrated is because I could have 6 months ago looked it up and found out who they were playing 6 months ago. But granted, I didn't know whether or not they were playing them on December 10th or whether or not they were playing them on October 16th. But who cares? I already know what who they're playing. And if I would have looked 6 months ago, I wouldn't have even been looking forward to this season. I would have asked if we could just skip to 2022. With the amount of opponents that these guys got, like the Raiders, the 49ers, the freaking everybody who is good. They play the Steelers and they play all of them. They play the Cardinals. Like the gauntlet that the Bears are about to run is absolutely asinine. But not only that, I could have looked at this 6 months ago. So the excitement over this day where they just put it in order just doesn't make much sense to me of why you get so excited when you already know who the opponents are.
You do already know the opponents, who they are, but you don't know that you are playing the Packers, Buccaneers, and 49ers, Steelers, Ravens, all in a 5 week span.
Shut up.
Yes, you knew that you played those five teams, but when you put them all in a 5 week schedule back to back, you're like,
and then we get a break by playing the Lions for a week. And then what do you get? You get the Cardinals. You get the
right.
Oh
yeah.
See, yeah. So I'm more excited to learn when my bye week is. As long as it's not week 4, I'm usually pretty happy. Which
that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to the bye week and what week Justin Fields is going to be the starter. Because the week after the bye week is what my money's at. Especially with this schedule, because they're going to be like 2-10 heading into week 12.
Honestly, looking at your guys' schedule, your bye week might be a loss too. I mean,
you're not wrong, especially with Andy Dalton at quarterback.
yeah, well, he is going to lead you guys to the promised land.
He's going to lead us to 2-10. Yeah, he is going to lead us to the promised land. He's going to lead us to Justin Fields being a starter. And
stub his toes on the couch, and Andy Dalton back starter by week 9.
No way. Yes way.
Yes, way.
All right, guys. So Teddy Bridgewater came out and criticized how the Carolina Panthers practiced. Yes, we're talking about practice. Not a game. Not a game. Practice. Shout out to Allen Iverson, by the way. Anyway.
Best quote ever.
I ask you guys this. Teddy Bridgewater is going to be out of the league in 3 years.
I'm going to go with Wavy, but it's not because of anything that he said. It's going to probably be because I think he blows his knee out again. I think he's going to get destroyed in Denver.
Got to play to do that.
Well, he is the starting quarterback for the Denver Broncos.
He'll be the backup behind Rodgers.
Is it Drew Lock starting quarterback?
He'll be the backup behind Rodgers.
I'm thinking that Lock got relegated to backup because Drew Lock can show anything. Quit dreaming. Keep hoping.
Aaron Rodgers.
He's going to be in Green Bay till he's 43.
That's a 49ers jersey.
I mean, the 49ers could have had that if
That's
they would
still
have
not a Green Bay jersey either way.
Finish your thought, Tori.
So, yeah. No, I'm lost. I lost where I was going because
Teddy Bridgewater is going to be out in the league in 3 years.
No. Yes. I mean, yes. But it's because of injuries.
Well, is it?
No, yes. Yeah, no.
No.
Yeah, no, yeah. So, yes, he'll be out of the league. But I think it won't be because of anything he said like that. It'll be, I think he has another injury and it'll end his career.
Yeah, I am going to go with no way because, I mean, he is, 7th year in the league, and when he has had the opportunity to start on a team and, be a starter and then have pieces around him, we saw him do really, really well. I'm referring to Minnesota Vikings, obviously pre-injury, and there is still a glimpse of that in his body. We saw it last year at Carolina, or those 3 or 4 games he took over for Drew Brees a couple years ago. We saw kind of old Teddy Bridgewater coming back into play. So, guys, we're seeing Colt McCoy still in the league now, and he has never started. We're seeing a 38-year-old Ryan Fitzpatrick on his 17th team, and he is still fumbling around the NFL. So there's no way he will be out of the league just because there's such a demand for a good quality backup quarterback.
Yeah, see, I'm going way here. He's going to be out of the league in 3 years. There's something to this. There's a reason why everywhere he goes, they don't ask him to come back. They didn't ask him to come back when he got injured in Minnesota. They went out and got somebody else. They didn't ask him to come back in New Orleans. They went out and got Jameis Winston instead. They didn't ask him to come back in Carolina. They traded for a quarterback. There is something to why teams don't want Teddy Bridgewater, something we don't know yet, something that might come out later on in life, but there is something to why teams don't believe in this guy, and there's something to why teams don't want them in their clubhouse. And so for that reason, that's why I'm going way Teddy Bridgewater's out of the league in 3 years.
I do kind of see that, Combs, but did we really see the Minnesota Vikings? Because when Teddy Bridgewater got hurt, they picked up Kirk Cousins, right? And did we really see Kirk Cousins really kind of elevating to what the player he is now? Like that $100 million guy.
That was the stupidest contract in all of sports.
Because he was franchise tagged 3 times in Washington,
twice.
Twice. Okay, but I never see the
How many playoff wins the Vikings have with him?
1, I think, right, versus the Saints.
Yeah.
Yeah, the miracle.
Yeah. Right, and then when he went to New Orleans, he left to become a starter at Carolina. I mean, it's not like they didn't ask him back. He left to go be a starter. So
because it was going to cost way too much, and the Saints were right up against the salary cap anyways. Right. They were never going to be able to re-sign him.
I'm not discrediting what you think because Combs like maybe like I'm trying to be like the grass is greener on this other side.
Yeah.
But you could definitely be right because what that this would be 4 teams in 3 years now, right? So
yeah,
maybe.
Can we get to my last one here?
Yes, we can.
Real quick. All right. This one's for you, Tori. Only you get to answer this one. Ready for this, Tori?
Wait.
Blake Bortles will be the starter in Green Bay in week 1. It's definitely a way. Get out of here. You don't even get to answer. You don't even get to talk. It's definitely a way. Aaron Rodgers will not be in Green Bay. Suck it, Green Bay. Take Blake Bortles. Let's go to break.
And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckeyes along with Brandon BC Combs and Tori Anderson at @manhour_Tori, _Combs. Of course, you find me at @manhour_Buck on the Twitter machine. So, guys, we have had where, no way, we've had our what does. We're breaking down the AFC East draft grades. We have 2 teams left here in the whole draft to break down. So, we have done every team besides the New York Jets. So the New York Jets they did not do very good last year, guys. They went 1-15.
And the Patriots.
Yeah, well, we had the Patriots, but we all know how the Patriots did. Best draft ever. But Tori Anderson, 2021 New York Jets 1-15. They could not tank right. They could not win right. They fired their coach. They fired their GM. They traded off their franchise quarterback they drafted just 3 years ago. How'd they do in the 21-21 draft? Who was their best draft pick?
I'm going to go with their second first-round pick, Elijah Vera Tucker, offensive lineman, USC, 6'4", 315. They obviously needed to build their offensive line. To me, even though they drafted a quarterback early on, that's great. But if he's getting killed and his confidence is getting destroyed, that equals bust. So I give him credit to go out to try to give Zach Wilson some protection. Vera Tucker can play guard or he can play tackle. Again, this is becoming a lot more common thing where you're seeing these guys that can swing from guard to tackle. Versatility is like number one key these days. And I think we've seen that move now for about the last 10 years to a lot of teams in the NFL, moving to those guys that they can plug and play, again, because injuries happen, that they can move these guys around and not lose much consistency. So I really like this pick. They can put him, if they put him at tackle, they've got some pretty good bookends then with him and Mekhi Becton.
All right. Colmes, what about you? Best pick for the New York Jets?
Yeah, I'm going to stay right at their first draft pick with Zach Wilson. I think that they got the best quarterback in the draft. I really like the pick, and I know that Torrey does not like the pick of Zach Wilson, but I really do. I mean, this guy is an exciting talent. He's versatile. He's one of those guys who reminds me of a mix of Brett Favre and Jay Cutler. Just an all-around guy who he's going to make some quirky throws. He's going to throw off his back foot a lot, so he's probably going to throw a few interceptions here or there. But I really like the pick of Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson, 3 years at BYU, 837 completions, threw for 7,652 yards, 56 touchdowns to 15 interceptions. I mean, those are pretty damn good numbers for 3 seasons at BYU. And so I'm going to go with Zach Wilson. I do. I think that they got the best quarterback in the draft. They had a really, really good draft, which is very rare. How bad is it? There are 2 organizations in the NFL where we're like, damn, those organizations are horrible. And it was the Bears and the Jets. And both of them had really, really good drafts.
Yeah.
and a very unorganization like for both of those teams. But I really like everything about the Jets draft. They have like 9 or 10 picks in this draft.
They had a lot of draft picks. So let me ask you this question here, because Torrey and Wyatt, they've been breaking down the draft, and they've been kind of playing down these non-Power 5 teams, saying, oh, they don't play very good competition. Oh, like who they play, like you kind of have to pad the stats a tad bit. All those stats that you read off for Zach there, that was not against Power 5 competition. Do you think that is going to hurt him in the NFL, and his learning curve is going to be a lot more severe, so we won't see him have a very good first year, but a second year he might finally start to progress?
No, I think that BYU gets a bad rap for the level of competition that they play. I think that, and not only that, but I think that BYU and Zach Wilson, you're still playing against teams that are the I guess I would say the same level as you. So you're playing against like competition. You're playing against guys who were selected like you were, who were they go to the same type of college as you do. Like, they're not playing against Power 5 conferences, but that's not Zach Wilson's fault. He's playing against a competition that's in front of him, and he's absolutely destroying the competition that's in front of him.
All right, so Zach Wilson was your best pick. Who was your worst pick for the New York Jets?
If I had to pick one, I guess I would go with God, they really didn't have a bad one, but I guess if any of them, I'm going to go with the guy whose name I can't pronounce out of Florida State, the safety, Nazarildine or something like that. You're nitpicking again because he was like a 6th or 7th round pick, so it is a nitpick pick for them. But if I had to pick one, that's the one I'm going with.
All right, so Tori, what about you? Who was the worst pick for the New York Football Jets in the 2021 NFL Draft?
I don't think this is going to be a surprise to anybody, but Zach Wilson was their worst pick. Zach Wilson is going to be a bust in the NFL. Zach Wilson is going to be terrible. I am not a Zach Wilson fan. I've watched his tape. I do not see what NFL teams see in this kid.
Is he going to be terrible because he's on the Jets and they can't bring up a quarterback, they can't develop a quarterback, or is he going to be...
That could very well be as well, because the Jets don't have a great track history of quarterbacks either. When Mark Sanchez is like your most recent success, and you got rid of him after like 5 years, but
they got the best quarterback on the board.
No, they didn't, because Justin Fields was the second best quarterback in this draft.
I said they got the best quarterback on the board. You're right. Justin Fields was second best. Zach Wilson was best.
No, Trevor Lawrence was still the best quarterback.
No, he was not.
Stop it. Zach Wilson will be a backup after 3 years are out of the league.
What?
So
He is awful.
let me throw this stat at you.
So are
here.
your takes.
Tory. Zach Wilson completed 62% of his pass attempts over 20 yards. That is the best mark in FBS passer since the metric was first tracked in 2011. So
But he did it against Boise State, so who cares?
He had the best downfield.
Boise State probably
passing
shut him down.
versus everybody. Don't you have to take that into effect here? Like when you're saying he was the worst pick?
I don't. I'm looking at his body of work overall. I
He said
mean,
Boise State probably shut him down. They beat Boise State 51-17.
did they? I don't know. I don't even know what their
Good
I don't
call,
even know what
Tori.
their conference is called anymore. If it was the Western Athletic, is it the Mountain West Conference now? I don't know.
Yeah.
It
Alright,
changes
so-
names.
So you gave us your best pick, or sorry, Combs. Who is your worst pick for the New York Jets?
Yeah, I did mine.
sorry.
Namrel Dean
Yeah,
or whatever.
That's right. I'm sorry. So Combs, since you're already on full screen here, what is your draft grade for the New York Jets?
I'm going A. I think that these guys had a really good draft. I really love the pick of Zach Wilson. I love the pick of Vera Tucker. Elijah Moore in the third round is going to be a really good pickup, a really good target for Zach Wilson. And Michael Carter out of North Carolina is going to be a solid running back in the league as well. So I really like everything that they did. So I went with an A with these guys.
And does this draft make him better this year?
Oh yeah, for sure. Zach Wilson is probably, the best talent that they've had at quarterback, and I really like Sam Darnold. I really am a Sam Darnold fan. I think that their lack of being able to develop a quarterback really hurt him. But with the new regime in New York and the talent of Zach Wilson, which is at a higher level than Sam Darnold's was, I think that they can pull this one off.
All right, Tori, what about you? What is your draft grade?
I gave him a C. There again, I don't like the Zach Wilson pick. The only picks I really like is the Elijah Vera Tucker pick. I really like the Elijah Moore pick. Those are two really good picks. Michael Carter wasn't terrible, but then you drafted 3 safeties.
You are the only person in the world that I've heard on draft grades that gave this team anything worse than a B+.
It's a C. Nothing else really moves the needle for me. I think Zach Wilson is not a good quarterback. Zach Wilson will set the franchise back another 3 to 5 years because when you have a quarterback that fails like that, it does. It sets. You could have used those picks elsewhere because,
I hope they trade Zach. I hope they trade Zach Wilson to Green Bay for Aaron Rodgers.
Never happened. Maybe in 3 years.
So, by your C grade there, Tori, does this make them a better team this year, or are you still thinking they're 2-14 type of caliber?
They were 2-14. So it's almost, you can't say they're going to get worse because worse is just about winless or winless. So obviously they'll probably be a little bit better. I don't even know who the head coach is for the Jets now.
Oh, God, how do you not know?
Who is it?
Saleh.
Oh, that's right.
Niners.
From the Niners.
A very
defensive
good
coordinator.
head coach, a very well-respected head coach, a guy who's going to turn this franchise around with his boy Zach Wilson. And the Jets within the next 4 years are going to be the front runners with the Buffalo.
Nobody cares what Combs has to say about Zach Wilson anymore.
But he wasn't talking about Zach Wilson.
I will punch you right in the throat.
That's what you get for standing me up, fool.
Twice. So Combs, give me a bold prediction about the Jets this season.
The Jets will win more than 4 games. That's my bold prediction on the Jets.
That's like
double
really
their
win
bold
season
prediction.
from the previous year. So that's a step in the right direction. Tori, what about you? Bold prediction for the New York Jets this season.
Zach Wilson will break the rookie NFL record for interceptions.
Do you know what that record is by chance?
Christ.
It's set by Peyton Manning, isn't it?
It's 28, I think, by Peyton Manning.
Yeah. Wow, that's Winston's
Wow,
status
Peyton
there.
Manning once threw 28 interceptions in a season, huh? I wonder who else did that,
30.
and everybody's down on him. Jameis Winston.
He also wasn't.
But not his rookie season. That was Peyton's rookie season.
You're right. Winston's rookie season was 25, so he's steadily.
No, he never threw more than 16 before he threw those 30 interceptions.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the best team. We have a lot of Patriots fans out there. Your son's a huge Patriot fan there, Mr. Combs Jr. I should say Combs. So the Patriots, they re-signed Cam Newton. They have obviously lost Tom Brady. This is the second year going on without Tom Brady. So Combs, who was their best draft pick in the 2021 NFL draft?
I think their best draft pick was Mac Jones. I wasn't really high on their draft, but the Mac Jones pick, look, I'm not very high on Mac Jones anyway, but I did say that if Mac Jones gets drafted by the New England Patriots, he is going to be a top 3 quarterback from this draft class. And look, there's just something about these quarterbacks that come out of college that look like they can't do anything, getting paired up with Bill Belichick, that just makes me think that this is going to be a match made in heaven. So I think Mac Jones was their best pick.
Yeah, and I think Mac Jones, because many people had them going to the 49ers at the 3rd overall pick there, and watching him fall, the Patriots were basically licking their chops saying he's going to fall to us and the world's going to be right again. So, Tori, who was your best pick for the New England Patriots this season?
I'm going to go with the 3rd round pick with Ronnie Perkins, the edge rusher out of Oklahoma. I really like that pick. 6'3", 247. He's an old school type football player. He uses his hands well. He's got good speed to get around the corner. He's faster than what his tape is. He's got really good speed to conversion. So he can hit that corner, hit the speed, and then still push through you. A lot like Reggie White used to do with his old bull rush move. And Ronnie Perkins has a lot of that. He's a New England Patriot. He's a throwback to the early 2000s when the Patriots defense was dominant with players like Willie McGinnis, Teddy Bruschi, and all of them. He is that type of player for them. I am a big fan of Ronnie Perkins in that defense. And this is a defense that, like we said, last year was missing, 7 starters because they sat out because of COVID.
Right. And they're all back. So,
and no, except for Chung because he hung it up.
Right. Allegedly.
This is like the 3rd time he retired, isn't it?
Well, he's probably going to go to Tampa just like Julian Edelman, right? So who was their worst draft pick here, Tori?
I'm going to go with Mac Jones. I am not a Mac Jones fan. I am not a believer in Mac Jones. Him and Zach Wilson, this was like a great way for this to end, because these are the 2 draft picks that I have been hammering out for the last 2 months for how terrible that they are. I don't think Mac Jones is a good quarterback. Mac Jones played with 5-star recruits all around him that made him look 1,000 times better. I know Wyatt said that before too as well. I don't think he's going to be that good of a quarterback. When's the last time you had an Alabama quarterback come out that was a really good quarterback in the NFL? Bart Starr?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
So I'm just, it's a translation thing. Alabama quarterbacks do not translate to success in the NFL. Tua has a chance to break that, but I really don't see Tua doing that either. So
Mac Jones. So Combs, your best pick was Tori's best or worst pick, I should say. Are you guys going to flip flop here? So who's your worst pick in the Patriots?
Tori is my worst pick. I picked Tori. No, I'm going to go with Christian Barmore, the defensive tackle out of Alabama. I just didn't. I thought they reached for this one, even though it was, in the. I believe he was the 2nd round pick, and I just think that it was a reach for a defensive tackle, which that they didn't need to make. They did not need to go ahead and get a guy who, let's say, he had a decent season numbers wise, but when you really break down the numbers for Christian Barmore last year with Alabama, he had 8 sacks last year. Against all of his sacks came against 2 against Mississippi. He had 2 against Arkansas. He had 1 against Louisiana State, 1 against Kentucky. So he took advantage of a lot of really bad, talent in front of him, and when he was playing against porous lines, he succeeded. But when he was playing up against good talent, he was non-existent. He was non-existent in those games. He was non-existent versus Georgia, where he had 2 solo tackles and one pass or 2 passes defended. So it's just when you're playing against bigger competition, the guy seems to disappear. I think his numbers skewed him into a 2nd round pick, But I don't understand that pick there for the New England Patriots. I would have picked somewhere on the offensive line to help protect, because they really have a depleted offensive line, and you just picked up Mac Jones. I would have really liked to see them go offensive line there to help protect Mac Jones.
Yeah, so that another player that likes to disappear. He's from Alabama as well, and that's King Henry. Every time there's a big game on the line, he doesn't seem to show up. But we'll digress on that as we break down players next week. So, Collins, what's your overall draft grade for the New England Patriots?
I gave him a B-. I really like the pick of Mac Jones. I like the pick of Ronnie Perkins. I do agree with Torrey there. And then, they're for whatever reason, the New England Patriots strike gold in the 5th, 6th, and 7th rounds. So somewhere along the line, Cameron McGrone, the linebacker out of Michigan, Joshua Bledsoe, the safety out of Missouri, Will Sherman, the offensive tackle out of Colorado, and Trey Nixon, the wide receiver out of UCF, are all going to be wearing yellow jackets at some point, because that's what the Patriots do. They strike gold in the 5th, 6th, and 7th rounds. So that's why I give them a B-, because even though I didn't really care for their draft beyond Mac Jones, they just always strike gold late in the draft.
So they went 7-9 in the 2020 campaign. Did they get better with this year's draft?
No, I think they stayed neutral. I do like like I said, I do like the addition of Mac Jones. I like him with Bill Belichick. I just think that this team's just a couple of years away. They're just not ready. They're going to get some guys back that were on COVID, that opted out because of COVID, I should say, and they're going to get some talent back on that defense for sure, but that offense is going to be abysmal. And, Mac Jones probably is not starting week 1. So it's just one of those things where I think they're going to be about the same. I'd have to take a look at their schedule, but I think, 7-10 is about right for the New England Patriots again.
So are they cutting Cam Newton away to being a playoff team?
No. I mean, if you started Mac Jones week 1, I think you're in the same position as you are with Cam Newton. You might be. I would say if you start Mac Jones week 1, you're maybe 1, maybe 2 wins better than you are with Cam Newton.
All right, so Torrey, what is your overall draft grade for the Patriots?
I gave him a C. Again, nothing here really moves the needles, but Ronnie Perkins to me was probably the best pick. But Brandon's 100% correct. These guys always seem to find that late round gold. And I'm going to go with
Tom Brady.
Cameron McGrone will be the guy that's going to become a 7-time Pro Bowler, and this guy's the greatest linebacker since Lawrence Taylor never played in the league, and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So, because because there was the other kid that they took, I think, from Michigan last year or 2 years ago, and I can't think of his name. And he's got some potential. And he just completely blew up in New England. It's go figure. It's the Patriots.
So Torrey, they went 7-9 last season. Did they get better with this draft?
Not immediately. I think they're going to be right around the same record. So I think 7-10, maybe 8-9 is right where they're going to be. This is a draft class that you're going to go back maybe 3 years from now and be like, that was a really good draft class for them, or it'd be like, oh man, that was the downfall of the Patriots right there.
Right.
That was just not a good draft for them. So this to me was kind of it's a boomer bust draft for them. It's nothing jumps off the page to me, but I don't think it was great. I don't think it was terrible either.
Yeah, and then on that boat, let me add some little thoughts here. I don't think this draft makes them better, but all the players coming back from COVID makes them a better team. So I think their record will show improvement, but the team didn't get better from the draft. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I think they ended up losing. Which one was it? Who retired? One of their guys decided he was going to come back off COVID, and Patrick Chung.
Patrick Chung.
I mean, that's a huge loss for that defense. Yeah. So I don't know. I see them around the same. Again, we'll get into it when we break down their schedule, and I'll be able to pick better. But I don't see them being anywhere near improved unless the NFL did them a favor and let them play the Dolphins 17 times.
Well, they did have a losing record, so they'll have an easier schedule. So, Torrey, bold statement for the Patriots this season.
Ooh.
That's a tough one.
That is a tough one. But I'll go with the returning players on their defense, they're a top 5 defense this year.
Okay.
Bold statement. Mac Jones beats out Cam Newton to earn the starting gig out of preseason.
The real bold statement: the Patriots are back and they win the AFC East this year.
What? That's
a
not
bold statement.
That's stupid.
5:20 at 9:41 p.m. East Coast time. Buck said it. Called it here.
Says
first.
the guy. Yeah, Buck also said the Lions were going to win the NFC North at 10-6.
Time
would
of
have if
death
they
of the
would've
New
won 2 more
England
games.
Patriots. That's how we're going to sign that one.
All righty, guys. We're going to take a quick little break. On the other side of the break, we are going to do some shop talk. So if you guys want to talk about anything in the chat, let us know in the comments. We'll also open up the phone lines as well if you would like to call in. We will have the ticker going around at the bottom during the break. Same rules as always, guys. Have your questions ready, appointed at like at one guy or the other, and they will answer the question you have at rebuttal time. And then, just a couple minutes on the phone so we get as many people as we can through the phone lines. So, Shop Talk coming up, guys, here on the Man Hour. We'll be right back after this. And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buck Kozlov with Tori Anderson and Brandon Combs tonight. You can follow us at manhour_Buck, manhour_Combs, and of course, manhour_Tori. Follow us on Twitter and also on Facebook as well. If you guys are watching us on youtube.com/manhour, go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button as well. On Facebook right now, hit the share button. Share this with a couple friends. Get the people out there. Just spread the word. Help us grow each and every day. Combs, this is the first time me and you have done a show in, it seems like a long time. And it's just like we're riding a bike. Like once you get back on, it's just like, it's just like bada bing, bada boom. We are back in that groove. So how do you feel being back on the show with old Buck Nasty?
Well, I mean, I felt good right up until you said the Patriots were going to win the AFC East this year. And then I was like, oh, same old shit.
Same shit,
No,
different day.
I was really excited, though, during the break. I want to give a quick shout-out. We've got a fan that's been under the weather Stacy, who is always chiming in on the chat, and she's been under the weather. She hasn't been feeling good. Penelope, Nana gave us the update today that they got the meds going the right way, and she should be back on her feet soon. So Stacy, get healthy, get back on the chat. We miss you. We love having you here with us. So get better soon.
Yeah, and ever since she has not been in the chat, I have not won a gambling thing, and the Reds only won like one game. So
I think the gambling thing's broken in here. I rolled a 95. I rolled a 90. I rolled a 95, and it said you lost 20 points.
Yeah,
I don't even know what the roll means. Like I don't even know how high you need to get to win.
All right, guys.
Apparently above a 95.
I believe it's like craps. I'm not 100% sure, but we do got our first caller of the night. Caller, can you hear us?
I can hear you, man.
We got the man Joey on the line, guys. He's a frequent flyer over here on the phone lines. Joey, what's going on tonight, buddy?
Nothing much, man. How about you?
I did love your questions, Will. We're actually going to bring that up in shop talk here after we're done on the phone line. Who do you got a question for? Or a statement?
Once again, Combs. And my question is not a question; it's a comment. Tim Tebow will play every single down in the NFL this year. I swear, he's the best. He will be the best tight end of my generation in the whole decade.
What? Are you out of your ever-loving mind, Joey?
Combs.
Tim Tebow is a man of God. He's the best baseball player, the best football player, best tight end, best quarterback ever.
Okay, Joey.
You gotta be trolling right now. Are we getting rickrolled?
Time out, guys. So, guys, Joey just said that he will play every offensive snap for the Jacksonville Jaguars next season. Joey, do you want to make a bet with Combs on that right now?
No, I didn't. Okay.
Is this why?
He will play every down. He'll play occasionally.
You just said so. Now you're waffling around because Bruce said every down in the NFL.
Joey, are you
play about 50%?
Are you good friends with Wyatt?
Yeah.
No, that makes sense now. Now it makes sense.
So how about this? We have a friendly wager here on the show. Loser.
Joey, how about this? How about I make it easy for you?
I'm not shaving my head, man.
How about if he plays? I'll say if he plays 50% of the downs or more, then I'll shave my head and I'll come on the show shirtless. But if he plays less than 50% of the snaps, you've got to go to Wyatt's house during one of the shows, hold him down, and shave his head.
All right, you got a deal.
All right, yes.
That is not going to happen at all. Let's just be honest with that.
That's assault, brother.
So for people that are just tuning in here, Joey here, he is a fan over here on the youtube.com/man hour page. He says that Tim Tebow will play, let's say, the majority of the snaps for the Jacksonville Jaguars next season. And
he doesn't even make the team out of preseason.
Yeah. Joey, do you want to renege what you said just to kind of save some face here for you, like in the community?
Yeah. I said that Tim Tebow will play like 50%
you didn't
of
say
every
that.
offensive snap.
Hey, can we clip this? We need to clip this so that when Tebow doesn't make it out of there, we're gonna clip this and we're gonna make it so that that we play this on loop. Like this is gonna be our running joke here about Tim Tebow.
I was gonna say he's not even signed to the team yet. He's not even on the team.
Signing next week. Don't even worry about it.
All right.
He's
gonna call Joey.
He's gonna play in every. He's gonna be in every game for the Jacksonville Jaguars as their
water boy,
their special teams coach.
So Combs, like I know you went to bed early last night, but Wyatt said that they're bringing Tim Tebow on to be the rah guy to get the people in the zone to like play. Do you see that at all?
I don't. Just because, look, when he was a quarterback for the Denver Broncos, he was a winning quarterback. It's just she doesn't want to see me do the show shortless or not, I guess.
Probably bald, too.
But anyway, he is not going there to be that. Like, if he was going to be, he could have been that for the Denver Broncos, and he was that. He was the guy he knew how to win, and he showed it the year that he got his chance. But now you're bringing this guy back, and you've got a guy who played 1 year at quarterback, and then everybody believed that he couldn't play quarterback, so nobody ever gave him a chance ever again. And now 8 years later, he's coming back to play for the Jacksonville Jaguars as a tight end and not even a quarterback. So I think that I don't even think he makes a team out of. He might make it out of training camp, but he doesn't make it out of the preseason, I don't think.
Yeah, and then Drew says, "I believe he does sign."
He'll sign.
You can sign all you want, but that doesn't mean you're guaranteed on the team. They what the Chicago Bears picked up like 15 unrestricted free agents like after the draft, right?
They had like 19 tight ends last season too.
Yeah, so it's absolutely crazy here. But one question that I did see earlier, Combs, here in the chat.
The one from Joe.
Yeah, the favorite NFL jerseys. Tori, you haven't been very active in the chat tonight, so let me get the question to you first here. Let's take this caller here real quick from Maine. Caller, hello, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Oh, who we got on the line here?
Brandon Combs Jr.
Combs Jr. What's going on tonight, buddy?
What's up, kiddo?
What's up, guys?
So, what is your question, comments, concern?
So, I have a question for Tori. Why are you too scared to admit that Aaron Rodgers is leaving Green Bay?
Valid question.
My thing is, I deal in facts, not fiction. So, the man has not said anything. A lot of the stuff coming out today is that they are working.
He hasn't denied anything either.
That's the other part of it, but he never.
That's the part you don't want to admit.
But the thing is that's just him. He's never been one to feed into the drama. When Greg Jennings came out and said all this stuff,
is the drama.
He never fed into it. When the story broke about him and McCarthy, he never fed in. He does not feed into any kind of drama. He never has. He never will. That's why I'm not worried about it.
Didn't he divorce his parents?
Didn't he say he wants to leave though?
He's never come out and said, no, he did not divorce his parents. That was his brother. That was his butthurt brother that said something when he was on like whatever reality TV show he was on to try to make it. No, I mean, it's like I said, I deal with facts. I don't deal with just random nonsense that gets spouted out there. So
but you do a show with Michael Buckheister, so you deal with random nonsense that gets spouted all the time.
This is also true.
But I am like Adam Schefter. I pull pieces here, and I make the puzzle complete. So
you mean you make shit up?
Right. So basically, I feel what Combs Jr. is saying here is that this has been brewing for like a while. Why hasn't Aaron Rodgers extinguished the flames if it's not true?
Because that's not who he is personality wise. That's not what he does.
You can be personality wise all you want, but if somebody's talking bogus,
why hasn't he signed the massive offer that they've supposedly given him?
So I was gonna say, and I'm gonna use allegedly, because allegedly they offered him a long-term contract today. And he wants again, all completely allegedly wants guarantees that he will be the starter for basically as long as he wants to play. So how much of that is true? I have zero clue. That is an article that came out, I think, like 2 hours before we got onto the show. So is it true? I don't know. It's literally all hearsay.
Any follow-up questions for Tori?
What?
Any follow-up there to Combs Jr. to what Tori said?
No.
All righty, man.
It's gonna look really nice when he's in a Denver uniform.
Yeah. All righty, thanks.
See, this is
the
thing.
Smack.
This is the thing. I am not Wyatt. I do not buy into. I don't get baited. So The only time I get baited is into the mute.
No,
button.
but you are Wyatt because you refuse to think that he would ever want out of Green Bay.
No, I'm not stupid. But until he comes out and directly says it, it's all hearsay at that point.
Got another phone call?
We do have another phone call. Are you guys ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, caller. Who do you got on the line here?
It's once again Joey.
Oh, it's Joey.
Another
again.
comment.
Great. This guy. What's your next comment there, Joey?
Stop saying Rodgers is going to go to the Saints, the 49ers. He won't be joining any other team besides free agency. He won't find any other team. He'll be in that one situation like the other quarterback. He's not going to find a team. He's going to retire.
So you're telling me that there is no market out there for Aaron Rodgers? Is that what you're saying there,
There's no market
Joey?
for the reigning MVP?
No.
Wow.
This is twice. You've called twice now with two takes.
He is too old to play QB.
Hold on. You've called
coach.
Hold on, Joey.
Block
I
his
gotta
number,
cut you
guys.
off real quick. You've called twice now with two takes that are worse than anything I've ever heard come out of Buck's mouth, and that's really, really hard to do. And first you say Tim Tebow is going to be the greatest tight end of your generation in a generation that has seen Rob Gronkowski, Travis Kelce. But you're telling me that Tim Tebow is going to be the greatest tight end. Now you're telling me that there's no market for Aaron Rodgers?
No.
Brandon, he's like 9.
And I believe Joey said that Urban Meyer was going to be the best coach in the NFL after his second year, if I'm not mistaken, right, Joey? Was that you?
Not say that.
Oh, no, that was Chaz. I think, last
Joey, who's your favorite team, Joey?
The
Packers.
Jets. Oh, that's why.
The
Never
Packers?
The Jets. Yeah.
Why the Packers?
Because
Wyatt told me to.
That's why. No.
Why
I'm getting
are
interrogated here. What is going on in this show, man?
Why are you a Packers
I
fan?
can't believe you're doing this to me.
Why?
How old are you, Joey?
I am 14.
How long have you been a Packers fan, Joey?
About 6 years.
Okay. All right. I mean, look, hey, I'll give it to you. You're a Packers fan. You've been a Packers fan since you were 8, so I'll give it to you there. But you're being unrealistic when you say that he's not going to be able to find a team and he's going to have to retire, because if he leaves Green Bay, which I believe he
He'll
will,
find Team Jeopardy.
there are 30 other teams that would go out and sign him.
Who's the one team that wouldn't sign him then?
Chiefs.
Kansas City Chiefs.
You
Or
have
the
something to
Tampa
say
Bay
about that?
Buccaneers.
No,
Tampa
I
Bay-
bet you the Bucs would sign him.
Or the Seattle Seahawks.
You see the
Or the
Buccaneers?
Arizona Cardinals.
Could you see the Buccaneers signing him and just like platooning them like they were like a running back tandem?
That
You
would
get
be the
Aaron
most
Rodgers
Bill
and-
Belichick thing ever. It'd be like, we're just going to alternate series between Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. We're going to go dual
God.
quarterback.
We need
So-
to get Joey on the show sitting next to Wyatt so we can just tear them both apart at the same time.
Tori, do you think there's not a market out there for Aaron Rodgers in free agency?
That would be fun.
Yeah, we don't really care what you think, Tori, because that's how we're going to end the show tonight. Brandon Combs, we get Tori every night. It's too easy. He walks right into it. Sit us out, big guy.
Man Hour Nation, rise up.
After Hours now started, guys. YouTube.com. Click on the link. After Hours. We're there. Members only.